Sorry. Didn't have- Working great. We got brand product placement in the background. There you go.
I can't see it. Converse.
Yeah.
I got some brand product placing here today.
Or you got.
I don't think you can really see it. There you go. Can you see this one? Not
Can't see.
really.
You're. All I see is you.
It says Bush Sports Turf.
You don't even have a hat on.
What?
You don't even have a hat on.
Hey, you
You
can't
can't
see
see
it?
it. You can't see it.
Well, I'm wearing this as a tester because I've been told that we have at least one listener from out of state, and so you better recognize this hat and comment on the video.
I can take a guess on who that listener is.
Yeah.
Surprised
Yeah.
he's not commenting on our videos
Well,
aggressively.
we always make jokes about having 8 viewers. So you 8 out there, let us know who you are. Well, what do you
Yeah.
want to talk about?
We can do call-in show if you need us to.
Dude, for real. Yeah, 1-800 something other. Speaking of call-ins, I already watched all of the Tires episodes.
I got through three of them last night.
Did you get to one where they were on the radio station?
No, I didn't get to that one yet. The last one was the black mold.
Yeah, you're coming. It's really good. I thought it was really funny. I always have to make sure to turn that off. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, and Shane's a bad actor because he's always like half smiling, like he's about to laugh, and I'm like, dude, just be an actor.
That's the funny part.
Yeah.
It's Trailer Park Boys.
But Gerben is hilarious.
See him on late night.
Oh yeah.
He's
His,
like surprised
his
by the water cup. He's like, oh.
oh, then they're boom. Yeah. But his whole thing about like thinking of something and then you could just tell it's like charging. It's almost like one of those cars you draw back and then you let it go and then it goes
Mhm.
forward. He's like, "Whoa," and finally says it. That's the
Yeah.
funniest thing. That's great. Um, so yeah, what do you got today?
I want to address the text you sent me.
Oh, I was ready to go
Uh,
scorched earth yesterday.
yeah. So
Well,
let's
I lost the deal to a builder, and you know, hopefully we're talking to consumers, but we're probably talking to realtors and people who don't even give a shit about real estate, but kind of are keeping their eyes on the market as well. It's just really important. Everyone always says, "Oh, it matters who you work with." Well, does it? It should matter, but I just don't think it does. I think people bail on that thought really fast
for sure.
because it's if it matters who you work with, then it matters who has your best interest at heart. Just like we were talking with Joey, who is your fiduciary? Because if you take a seller slash a builder and they are basically saying you have to use our lender, that lender works for them.
Hmm.
So and these people, we'll see how it plays out. But I called the builder multiple times and they sent me to voicemail. They refused to call me. Super unprofessional.
I mean, what'd you expect from a builder?
Well, but that's just it. So yeah, there's a lot of new construction opportunities in Texas and DFW, but at what cost to you as a buyer are you willing to do these things that the builder is making you do? You don't have to. That I think that's a really important thing to note is that just because a builder says you have to do this, that may or may not be the actual law. So if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, or like these guys are like, man, we really don't want to do X, but our hands are now tied. If you feel like someone is tying your hands in a real estate transaction, get an outside opinion.
Yeah, it's like blink twice if you feel unsafe.
Yeah. So there's only loyalty is a real problem in the real estate world. Just being organized, being able to follow up and do a good job, that's hard enough. Being able to offer products, being able to do everything that you need to do, that is hard to get that set up to a level where you're comfortable and everybody you talk to gets the same level of service. That takes
Mhm.
years to build, and then that's hard enough. But then partnerships, they take time to develop, et cetera, et cetera. And for people just to be like, oh well, sorry, they said that we have to do this. That's I don't know about that. And then the other thing is with realtors or people who refer deals, a lot of times it's a realtor. They might get a client that comes in and says, well, because I've gotten a listing agents. So by the way, mortgage here, listing agents, we can be on your team too. We don't have to be on your team just as buyer's agents. So I've
Mhm.
got listing agents calling saying, I just don't, we really need this offer. We want to sell. It seems like it's good. Kind of needs some extra help though, because this lender is a little squirrely. They're not calling me back. He kind of got mad at me on the phone. Like, how in the world are you trying to do a business deal together and the first interaction is you getting mad at a listing agent on the phone? So like, there's just a lot of
Mhm.
there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that do what we do out there in the world, and they're not
Mhm.
all great. So yes, it matters who you work with, but if you think that, then work with those people. Let them work for you.
Yeah.
If you're saying it matters who you work with, but then you're not allowing them, you're tying their hands, and you're not allowing them to fully go. I'm a peacock captain. You got to let me
You
fly.
gotta let me fly. Exactly. Is
That's
this the is this
that's the
the tempered
nicest.
version?
That's the nicest way I can say my rant. But at the same time, offer some insight behind the scenes of how it works. Because there's a lot of things going on in a transaction. And guess what? I may not have the cheapest deal on a specific scenario,
Mhm.
but do you want cheap? Because if you do, then you're going to have a frustrating process for the next 30 days. And you'll probably close and it'll probably be worth it, but for how much? And what are the fees? When you're looking at a loan estimate, where do you look? Section A on the loan estimates, like page 2, typically, or at least it is on a closing disclosure. But Section A is the only thing that matters. All that other stuff is manipulatable. We've talked about this with insurance. I could put $60 over here on insurance, and now your payment looks really low, but I can't control that. That's not my thing. Lenders can control Section A, lender fees. Then there's title fees. Then there's escrow and taxes and insurance and anything else, credits, blah, blah, blah. So up here, and then there's another one down here like L or something, J or L, and that's credit. So you can look at those two things. And then outside of that, you're wasting your time because someone can lie to you and tell you one thing, and that's not even something that they control. And then you call them back in a week when things have changed and you're past your option period, and you're like, what the heck? Was like, well, you shot for the insurance. You made that decision. I don't know why you're thinking I would do that. And then now you are handcuffed. So
Yeah.
just don't put yourself in a position where you're going to get handcuffed. And then you're so far down the line that it's too late, you didn't know, and you're like, okay, I guess we just have to do that. Now, we've had a case lately where a client could probably say that we did that to them, but the underwriters put us in a tight spot because they said yes, and then all of a sudden they said no. And
Yeah.
so, but that's how crazy it is out there. And that's why it is important who you work with. But it's also important that you understand the process and where you're at in that process so that could anything else pop up at this moment with 2 weeks left to go? Well, yes, this is what could happen. So I have that conversation. Sometimes people don't like it. They think I'm scaring them or being a hard ass or something. But it's like, you just need to know that we're like 80% good, but that other 20% could be a killer. I don't
Yeah.
think that 20% is going to pop up, but if it does, we're in bad shape, boys. And so, who you work with, I fucking hate that. And I also hate, a lot of the gimmicky lines out there. Right now, people are calling from retail shops, calling all these realtors and buyers and promising them buy downs. But just know what people are talking about when they're selling you something. Know what that means. It means that you've got to get money from the seller. And if you don't, then what they just sold you is not real.
It's gonna
So
cost you money.
yeah, we're brokers. We offer almost everything. We don't offer some of the crazier programs because it's not our own money. So we do have to follow secondary guidelines and stuff like that to be able to sell it off at the back end. That's a whole nother conversation. But we have to follow that stuff. If you're selling or borrowing your own money, Greg, I'll give you 200 grand for that project you want to do. Don't even need to see any docs. and
Yeah.
let me know when it's done. I can do that if it's my own money. But
Hmm.
when in broker world, retail lending world, it's not like that. So my whole rant here is just about a little bit about loyalty, but it's also about partnering and stuff. Like if you have a lawyer, are you gonna team up with that lawyer and then like halfway through start shopping other lawyers? No, you're gonna let the lawyer finish their job because it takes time to do their job.
Yeah.
And so we often get put in positions where people come to us from other places. We're trying to win it. We want to do a good job. We still want to be ethical and give you full service. But if you don't allow me to give you full service, it becomes difficult. But then, if someone else is promising you the world, hasn't produced it at all in any way to back up what they're saying, just know that that might change. This builder is saying that the lender won't produce any quotes for them until after they're in contract.
So why would you go
So
with them?
because they think that they're going to net X amount of $1,000 more. And so, but you don't know that for sure until you see their loan estimate to see if they're charging you $1,500 processing fee and another $800 underwriting fee, because all those fees are starting to get more and more expensive out there in the world of loans. So there are fees that have to be charged for a company even to be able to operate. So you just need to know who charges them. I actually take the hit on that for my clients so that I can do more deals and save people money. Other
Mhm.
people absolutely charge you that money. So you have to just understand the full picture. If they're promising you X amount of dollars more to use their own lender, in summary, that lender works for not you, and you don't know their fees until after you've signed and put on your earnest money. Woof.
It's too late. Yeah.
So just do work ahead of time. I try to do a lot of work ahead of time. People get annoyed by it. They're like, just tell me what I'm approved for. It's not that easy. So there's a lot of details that go into this. I could give you a fake number. I could tell you the lowest rate on my rate sheet and not tell you what it costs. That's
Say the
what that's what salespeople do.
say
I'm
the
not a
line you want to
salesperson.
say.
What?
Say the quote you want to say.
You'll have to help me. Was it Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take a dump on a box and mark it guaranteed. I mean, I will. I've got spare time.
Yeah.
But for your sake and your daughter's sake, why don't you buy a quality brake pad from me?
Yeah. I mean, there's no more fitting conversation to have than this.
So now I'm done. You talk.
I mean, it is about loyalty. Um, we get clients all the time that call in upset about their rates, and then they don't want to be patient. It's like, hey, like I work for you. Why are you going elsewhere? An older client that recently did that. Yeah, I just went ahead and canceled it. I found a new policy. Well, the new policy doesn't start for a month. He canceled his 3 days ago. Um, and it's worse coverage. And it's a company we work with. So I don't know why he wasn't just patient. He was freaking out. He was like, we have 60 days to do this. And I was like, and it's going to take me a day to get you numbers. And when I called him back the next day, he had already taken things into his own hands. And so now you're not a client of mine. You canceled it. So I have no reason to help you anymore.
Yep.
So if you don't want to take the time to trust what I told you, then you're not somebody I need to work with.
Yeah. So patience. Just wrote that down. That's what this whole thing is about. Do you want to be sold and just take someone you've never met's promise? I'm someone you've never met, and most of my calls. So make me trust but verify. You know,
Hmm.
but be patient. The markets move all the time. And so sometimes I'll call and say, and I just did it to a client and they took a little bit more time, so we're still not locked in. But it's like, hey, markets went down. It's now or never, dude. And 2 days later, well, the markets aren't down anymore. In just 2 days, we went, I'll say basis points, but let's say we went better by 36 basis points and now about worse by 30. So we broke even. You didn't catch a
Hmm.
dip.
Yeah.
And but just because the news got hot, it does just know that it's not going to stay hot for more than a day right now. Like I'm trying to learn how to do some videos and send them out through my CRM. So I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to start doing a weekly video, and I'm going to show, like, look, when I called you, it was here. When you called me, it was here. Like, you just got to know that when I call you, it's important. Look, it's this
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And that,
If it's an incoming call, like you should probably, there's no reason your mortgage broker is calling you unless it's good. Like, hey,
yeah.
I need to
But
share something with you.
am I your mortgage broker, or are
True.
you having a million lenders calling you and you're overwhelmed and you don't have true partnerships in place? If you call me a vendor, we're not partners.
Hmm.
But patience is a weird thing, though, because you do have to have patience. A lot of things have to take shape, and like it takes time for it all to happen. However, certain stages you can't have patience because the market
Hmm.
moves so fast right now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a nightmare in its own right. So just this week we had good news, and then John's report bad news. You know, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. So it is what it is. But keep going back to what you're talking about. You said the word canceling policies. Another crazy situation. Not even a past client, just someone that I'm working with right now, showing me their mortgage statement and stuff, escrow analysis. That's
Hmm.
another rant I go on all the time, is these
Yeah.
escrow analysis,
Yeah.
because they're all bullshit. They're outdated.
Hmm.
And it's a whole script I've got written out right now about rates too. Is like, I see it all the time. The news, in CNBC or Fox Business or something, they're quoting the 30-year rate, like way lower than what it should be, but they're trailing 7 days. We just talked about how rates can move within a day, but yet they're posting on TV rates from last week. So it's like, oh, they're setting us up for failure when we get phone calls. Same as
Yeah.
in COVID when they're like, hey, I want one of those 0% rates. It's like, oh my gosh.
One of
Um,
them free phones.
but these people sent me this escrow analysis, which is behind, uh, and they've got like multiple insurance policies being collected on their escrow analysis. They're like, hey, you owe us 10 grand. You're short 10 grand, and it's a small house, a small loan amount. They're like, that seems crazy. Well, it's because they got hit by multiple different insurances. Um, yeah,
Bigfoot
multiple
sighting.
different insurances.
That's on the mortgage servicer because it's
But
almost
you have
impossible.
But if you change your insurance, which these people did, it
Hmm.
truly is your job uh, to call your mortgage servicer and let them know. You cannot, again, trust but verify. You can trust that they'll do the thing and collect their money, but they're not going to verify the information for you. So you need to verify it. So that's my whole bit about the escrow analysis: is if you've changed anything, make one more call. Hey, bro, did you know that we did this? No, we haven't seen that come through yet. Let me call the insurance people, make sure they sent it to you. Then thank you very much. I'll call you next week and
Oh.
confirm once again, because otherwise you're going to be in this situation. And so talk to me about that. How does that work? Let's say they didn't cancel it. Can they cancel it now and get refunded, or is that toast, that money gone?
No, you can get refunded. It just depends on your documentation. So it's very rare. So typically what would happen if like you have two policies, you didn't cancel one policy is going to eventually cancel for non-payment. So if your mortgage payment paid the one that was supposed to be canceled and then the new one isn't paid, one of them is going to cancel. So it was probably just weird timing that they had two
Is
invoices,
it?
or perhaps there was no policy in place and the mortgage company is saying, hey, we force placed this, you owe us 10 grand. Because
Yeah.
it could have been their own insurance, not what the borrower selected.
Yeah.
So there's a whole multitude of things that can go wrong with that. It's typically impossible for a mortgage company to pay two separate ones without issuing a refund, in my experience. Not that it doesn't happen, but you're almost always going to get a refund, and the one that is supposed to be active is active, unless you have it set up different. Some people have it. Maybe the billing got switched to self-pay with an old policy, and they've just not been paying invoices, and then the new one, the mortgage is paid. So it's just a bunch of different things that can go wrong. I think the timing on theirs was probably just perfect for it to show that way, in my opinion. Not that it doesn't happen.
So we'll keep it short today, but one of the last things we'll talk about here, break it down then. So, okay, we tell people all the time, shop for insurance to help save money and make sure your payments don't go up. And then if you do shop, make sure you contact your servicer so that they know you shopped. And then, get it changed, because those escrow analysis are in the rear, so they might not know you changed yet, and then they'll increase your payment anyway, and then later on they'll try to reconcile it. But by the time they reconcile later on, oh, your taxes went up now, so actually you owe us money instead of getting that refund you thought you were going to give. So call the escrow company, servicer of your mortgage, and let them know. But break down a proper timeline of what someone should do, whether it's the consumer, you, or a combination of both, as the insurance provider, broker guy, to reshop insurance. What does that exactly look like?
So
Because
you're
canceling policies is something that is easily forgotten.
so the process typically is you're going to get a renewal anywhere from 45 to 60 days out. It doesn't come from me, it comes from the carrier. So it's not us sending it to you. This is your only option. It's just like, here's an update to the option you're with. We got 45 days. It takes us 24 hours to turn back quotes, sometimes quicker, depending on how busy we are. Just be patient. Some people get frustrated. We have no say in when your mortgage company pays your invoice. They're probably going to get that notice before you do, and they're going to pay it right away. They have a financial interest to make sure that the property is insured. So they are not going to wait most times. If that, if we switch, we save you money before the start of that renewal, you'll get that refund back. It'll come straight to you, not to the bank. At that point, you can put it back into your escrow account. I tell clients all the time, take refunds from your mortgage servicer and then use that money however you want. But if it doesn't come from your mortgage servicer, put it right back into your escrow account because they're going to do their calculations.
So
Um,
this scenario that people did not send it to the escrows from insurance, they kept it, spent
you
it,
can do whatever you want, but then you're just going to have a shortage at the end of the year.
and they have a big one right now. So real
Yeah.
life example backing up what you're saying.
And I understand some people like you get a check, you might need that money. I can't tell you not to do it, but if you don't want to be mad at the end of that story that we're telling, put it right back in your escrow account. Alex and I did that with ours. We lowered our payment, sent it, put it right back in the escrow account. They redid our analysis in like November. They sent us a check for $900 straight from our mortgage company. Then we can do whatever we want with that money. We're getting our money back. It's a terrible way to look at it. They're holding your money until you've paid too much, then they give it back once a year.
It's again, everything happens like in the rear, like they say. It takes forever, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, now it's good." But
It's
that's
it's
the
it's
system.
arrears, by the way.
Whatever.
Not in the rear. You're trying to rear my child.
Yeah, yeah. This guy wants to rear your kid. But it's really slow, and if we don't, I don't love the process, but these
I don't
companies
either.
are huge. All the companies are getting bigger now with all these mergers, so there you can't expect it to go any better or faster. It's not ever going to happen that way. If we wanted to change, then everybody, all 8 of our listeners, plus everybody that they know, we all need to go to DC together and pound on some doors. Literally the only way things can change. But even if you do that, you can't do it once. You got to do it all the time. Like they've already forgotten about me and the trigger lead bill. My guy has never responded to a single thing I've sent him. My current congressman, they don't care. So
So it
they
took a
truly
dump on
don't
his
care.
desk.
They truly don't care unless it is brought up to them over and over and over again and makes a little bit of a fuss. Then all of a sudden they care.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's all politics, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, you got anything else?
No, short and sweet today.
Um, I can't. I've been doing prize picks lately, and I thought I was doing really good. And I every time I bet on the Pacers, I lose because it's like
You
a
just
player
you
props
have a thing
only.
about Indiana.
Well, it's actually no, it's not the Pacers. It's on the Thunder. So player
Uh,
props only, and you have to do a parlay, and you have to include both teams. It's the only way you can do a sports bet on your phone legally. It's almost like a fantasy lineup. But every time I pick Chet Holmgren, 7 feet tall for over rebounds, and he's always under.
It's not a rebounder.
Well, I mean, all you gotta do is go get 7 boards. You're right there. Your face is at the rim.
It's a shooting guard, shooting forward. You got to know the
Texting my
game.
texting my NBA guys, and he's like, oh yeah, for sure, it's gonna hit."
Who are your NBA guys?
My Morgan's friend.
Yeah.
Whatever. I put a big one out there to see if we could get it, and I got It was a 6 leg deal, and I was only 1 rebound and 2 assists away.
Yeah, I was only 7 legs away from that parlay winning.
Well, what I did for playoffs last year football, I was 7 yards away from like a 13 leg.
I remember that. And I think he got pulled out of the game like in the third quarter, and you
They
were
were
like, "What?"
they're up by multiple scores and 2 minutes to go. Like perfect time for the running back just to run 1 or 2 more times, and they threw on first down. But I'm gonna keep throwing down like $1 bets to try to win my mortgage payment. So we're gonna keep doing it.
There you go. I'll follow suit shortly, but
All right. Let me know if we need to go to Chimmy's or Shaw's.
maybe I got the haircut at 4, so I'll let you know.
All right.
All right, bye.